But first, let's head to Chad because voters go to the polls on Sunday to select a new president. The incumbent, Idriss Déby, who's been in power for 31 years, is expected to secure another term. Now, there have been protests across the nation against his rule, and the country has long suffered from extreme poverty. That's despite the country's oil wealth. President Déby, though, is seen as an ally of the West in the fight against Islamist insurgents. Well, joining us now live from N'Djamena is Dr. Succes Masra, who's the president of Les Transformateurs, or the Transformers opposition party. Morning to you, Dr. Masra. Thank you very much for joining us. So tell us about the opposition, because I understand that there have been a number of protests and even a group called, I believe, the Citizens Action is calling for people to even take to the streets, not just abstain from the vote, but even to protest, something that I believe is banned.
Yes, thank you so much. This is a very bad situation for the people of Chad. This is a presidential election, but only maybe 10% of the population is authorized to go for this election. So this is not an election. This is not, a presidential election. And for almost 10 weeks now, people of Chad are marching. We are marching for justice. We are marching for inclusion, and we are also marching for a change in the leadership, because this is a country, our country, Chad, full of oil, full of gold, of natural resources. But the problem is the question of leadership. So unless we change the leadership on the top, nothing is going to change in this country. And I believe,
if I may say,
yes.
I believe that you yourself wanted to stand, but is it the case that you were banned because you were seen to be under 40?
Yes, but this is very, very, very curious. It's very curious because this is a country where 70% of the population is less than 30. 80% of the population is less than 40. The President Déby, I am 38. President Déby came in power, he was 38. But because he knew that if I run for office, I will win this election, he decided to change the constitution and to raise the minimum age from 35 to 45, and then to decrease is from 45 to 40. So this gives you a sense of the kind of election we are going through now.
Now, you say that you would have won hands down. You're very confident that you would have won. There are others who say, well, Dr. Masra could not, you can't tell the future. You don't know that you would definitely have won if you were able to stand. But that also the opposition as a whole in Chad, some argue, is not as strong and that you can't really gain the popular vote as opposition parties.
Oh, many. Actually, the President Déby decided to choose who is supposed to run against him. So this is like a football match, a football game where the same team is divided in two, and this is not what the people of Chad want. So the point is here, there is a kind of election crisis, which is going to lead us to the post-election crisis. We are calling our people not to go and vote on the 11th of April. But apart from this, it's up to the people of Chad to put an end to this system of Déby, which is now in power for almost 31 years. This is what we are going to do for the future. Yes.
Dr. Masra, let me ask you, because I understand that this week your offices were surrounded by Chadian security forces, but that you've been trying to speak to the United Nations to try and kind of quell the situation or diffuse the tension. Is that the case? And what was the outcome of your talks?
Yes, so this gives you also a sense of what is going on here in this country. This is a weaponcracy. It's no more a democracy. People of the UN, because the Secretary General of the United Nations asked all the Chadian leaders to organize a political and inclusive dialogue. So they came to meet us for this discussion, but they couldn't enter in our headquarters because actually we are surrounded by the police. Even until now, I'm speaking to you, we are surrounded by the police. So these are the for us, we have concrete propositions that we sent to President Déby on 29th of March. And in those propositions is to organize a peaceful transfer of power that releases the energy of the people and devotes a kind of honorable exit for Mr. President Déby. Because after 31 years, I think, and the people of Chad think it's time for him to step down and to give an opportunity to another Chadian to be elected and to continue and to bring servant and accountable leadership. This is what the Chadian people want. So this is my point to the UN, actually.
Dr. Masra, thank you very much for joining us this morning. He's president of Les Transformateurs, the Transformers opposition party.